Part of our summer culture is that we believe that we hear from God.
There's a step in which I learn that God talks to me. There's a whole nother step that says that God talks to you, and that I have the ability to accept that. And then, of course, John has the ability to speak it and share it. Welcome back to Tempus Divum. This episode, we're going to dive right into one of the topics that we have is sort of like the foundational pieces of the whole series, and this one is about sin. And I know that's always a very uncomfortable, unpleasant, it's not even a popular topic, but yet to understand what Christianity is even about, you have to really understand like how we got here, because at the center of the picture, at the center of the diagnosis that comes through the faith is this idea that we're fallen, that all of humanity is broken in a fundamental way. And before you may have heard the idea that use this word sin to reflect on basically our behavior, right? You do something wrong, you lie, you steal, you cheat. You lie, cheat, or steal. And while those things are important and those are certainly part of what's going on here, it's not really the point. Those are symptomatic in the same way that like a cough or a sneeze or a fever, those are symptoms of a sickness. And the behavioral sins are symptomatic of something much, much deeper. And so what we've got here is we've got some videos that come from the Bible Project, and these three in particular, I think are a good way to do just sort of an overview of a couple words that come out of the Bible that frankly are really unfamiliar to us. And so they look at transgression and iniquity, and then of course the word sin. And these words are used all throughout the Old and New Testament as part of the whole picture that sort of describes what is the issue. Like, frankly, why do we even have the Bible? Why does any of this even happen? And more to the point, what is the problem that Jesus says he's going to solve? So if there's good news, if that's what the gospel is, it's good news, well, what's the bad news, right? There's got to be something sort of to respond to. And so what we really like about these particular videos is how they give you a breadth of what the Bible is trying to say, as well as getting you set up to try to understand this in context. I don't mind saying one of the things that I think is typical, maybe just too typical in our modern church, is this idea that we don't even want to talk about this because sin feels so icky. It feels so judgy. It feels like there's this implication that there's some kind of responsibility for anything that we do or say or think or feel, and none of us want to hear that. And just to be clear, like, that's not especially true of the modern church. I think that's just true of humanity. To think that there could be something wrong or broken. On the one hand, I think if we're honest, it's impossible to not know that. I think if we're looking at our true the lives around us, the way in which the world is broken in so many ways. Everything from the people who did you wrong at the corner grocery to just the fact that we all die. All these things are representative of the fact that we as humans are broken, but even more, like, realize that it's not just the people. It's actually everything is broken. The fall affected everything. The fall affected the entire universe. The people, the animals, the trees, the sky. Right now, I'm in Oregon, and we've had fires here for the last several days. And 3-4 days ago, it was just this incredibly horrible orange. It looked like we were living on Mars. It was the strangest sky, and it was all from the smoke. Today it's been smoky and misty and hazy, and while I don't know if we can quite see in the background, and I'll take a picture of the sun, it's nasty, but frankly this is a huge improvement from where we were just a couple days ago. And it speaks, I think, to the fallenness of this world. It speaks, I think, in fact, when we were having conversations, everyone's saying the sky looks apocalyptic, it looks end of the world. And so they are all conscious that things aren't what they should be. And I think if we are going to have any kind of an honest conversation about how or what, or even if it's important that Jesus did what he did, we have to understand why. And at the very center of that is our fallenness. So I'm going to let you kind of take a look at what's going on with the Bible Project, and I'll come back on the backside.